Let me ask you something. Why do we live in an age where we have more convenience than ever? Cars, phones, food deliveries, energy drinks galore, and yet, somehow, everybody's always tired. We wake up tired, we push through work tired, we even relax while tired. It's like exhaustion has become normal. But here's the twist: journey thousands of miles across the Pacific to the villages of Okinawa, Japan, and you'll find people who seem to have unlocked something extraordinary. They live long, happy lives, often full of energy deep into their 90s and even beyond. And the secret is not some miracle pill or energy hack. It's something far more ancient and far more sustainable. The Japanese call it ikigai, and it just might be the closest thing we have to an antidote for feeling constantly drained. Now, let's break it down. Ikigai is a word that doesn't translate neatly into English, but roughly means reason for being. It's the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can contribute. Imagine a four-circle Venn diagram, and right in the center lies your ikigai. It's not just passion. It's not just a job. It's a sense that you wake up every morning with purpose. And here's the psychology kicker: studies show that when humans feel connected to a sense of purpose, their perception of energy skyrockets. Fatigue is not just physical, it's often existential. That's why dragging yourself to work you hate feels so draining, but spending hours on a project you love somehow leaves you buzzing even after midnight. Your body's energy tank is deeply connected to meaning. Ikigai gives you that source. Walk through one of the Okinawan villages famous for longevity, and you'll notice something subtle. Very few people retire in the way the West defines retirement. They don't suddenly stop working at 65. The fisherman might fish a little less. The farmer might slow down. The craftsman moves at a gentler pace, but they never fully quit doing the thing that gives them purpose. Their ikigai never turns off, which means life itself never feels like an empty waiting room. This one cultural habit keeps them energized, sharp, active. But ikigai isn't the only ingredient in this ancient Japanese recipe against fatigue. They practice something called harahachi buing until you're about 80% full. Western culture often worships all you can eat. Okinawans find strength in enough is enough. Here's the science. Digesting heavy meals draws blood to your stomach and taxes your system, leaving you sluggish. But if you eat just enough light, plant-based, colorful meals, you stay nourished without tipping into food comas. Less overeating equals more lasting energy. This simple discipline keeps people alert and light rather than stuffed and sleepy. Then there's another secret: movement woven into life. You won't see too many Okinawans slamming out CrossFit sets or grinding 5 miles on a treadmill. Instead, they garden, they walk everywhere, they squat to sit, they kneel, they stretch naturally. Their lives are designed to move even into old age. Contrast that with modern life, where we sit for 8 hours, then try to make up for it with 30 minutes at the gym. No wonder our body constantly feels shocked and exhausted. Energy isn't built by extremes. It's built by gentle, constant movement, the way Okinawans practice it daily, without even thinking of it as exercise. Let's add in the environmental magic. Forest bathing, or shinrin-yoku. This isn't about cardio or burning calories. It's about walking slowly in nature, breathing deeply, and absorbing the sensory details of the forest. Studies in Japan show that forest bathing reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, lowers blood pressure, and increases immune cells. Most importantly, it calms the nervous system in a way that restores energy instead of depleting it. Contrast this with our daily rest, doom scrolling, binge watching, staring at glowing screens. That kind of rest isn't restorative, it's numbing. But when you walk in nature, your brain actually resets. That's why the Japanese put shinrin-yoku at the center of their health. Culture it revitalizes far more effectively than collapsing on a couch ever will. Another pillar of the never-tired life is community. In Okinawa, tight-knit social circles called moesmo, groups of lifelong friends share food, check in daily, and support each other financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Loneliness, in contrast, is one of the greatest hidden sources of fatigue in our modern world. Studies equate it to smoking or alcoholism in terms of health impact. Why? Because carrying life alone creates constant low-level stress. But when you share burdens with others, your nervous system relaxes and energy naturally returns. This explains why people in Okinawan Traditional Japanese culture in general walk through life with enduring stamina. They don't carry it all by themselves. Now let's pause here. Notice how all of these secrets operate. None of them involve more caffeine. None rely on expensive hacks. They are grounded in ancient wisdom that aligns your life with nature, community, and meaning, all of which are free but profoundly difficult in the modern world. Because we've V-trained ourselves to chase stimulation instead of balance. We're not really out of energy, we're just disconnected from the practices that sustain it. Let's put the psychology lens on this. Feeling tired all the time is rarely about just sleeping too little. It's about living misaligned. When your habits fight your biology over eating, sitting nonstop, drowning in screens, isolating, grinding in jobs disconnected from purpose, your brain constantly sounds the fatigue alarm. Your body says, something is off, please realign, and we misinterpret that message as more coffee needed. But real energy doesn't come from stimulants, it comes from congruence. Japanese philosophy just understood this earlier than most. Okay, so how do we apply this ancient secret to our 21st century chaos? You don't have to move to Japan or become a monk. You start small. First, reflect on your ikigai. Don't treat it like a vague dream. Pen and paper. Actually write. What do I love? What am I skilled at? What contribution feels meaningful? Even one small overlap, teaching, mentoring, creating, helping, can infuse your daily routine with energy. When you wake up for something that matters, mornings stop being groggy drags. Second, practice hara hachi bu. Next meal, don't aim to stuff yourself. Aim to leave the table just a little light. Watch how much steadier your energy feels 2 hours later. Third, redesign your movement. Stop relying on 60 intense minutes at the gym after 23 sedentary hours. Instead, sprinkle movement throughout your life. Stretch breaks, walking meetings, gardening, even just standing while on calls. The goal is constant flow, not punishment. Fourth, reconnect with nature. Even a 15-minute walk among trees after work can restore more energy than an energy drink ever could. And finally, build community deliberately. Modern culture prizes independence, but energy thrives in interdependence. Check in with friends, have meals together, create your own version of a moe, because togetherness is fuel. One more subtle detail here. Japanese culture reveres ritual. Tea ceremonies, morning routines, seasonal festivals. Rituals anchor the mind, and when the mind feels anchored, it doesn't leak energy in stress and indecision. That's another angle we underestimate. Every time you eliminate small decision fatigue, what should I eat? When should I move? You save energy for bigger things. Rituals protect that energy. That's why Japanese lifestyles, even with their simplicity, feel grounded and never frantic. So maybe the ancient Japanese secret isn't mystical at all. Maybe it's this: live with purpose, eat with moderation, move with rhythm, rest with nature, and walk with others. The reason so many of us feel drained is we've forgotten those basics. We glorify hacks instead of harmony. We binge on stimulants instead of aligning habits with biology. But think of the power if we course correct. Imagine waking, not tired, but light. Spending your day on meaningful work, nourished by balanced meals, supported by community, restored by nature. That's not a fantasy. That's a choice. The same choice made in small Japanese villages for centuries. So next time you feel perpetually exhausted, don't just ask, how much sleep did I get? Ask instead, am I living with ikigai? Am I eating lightly? Am I moving naturally? Am I grounded in ritual and community? Because maybe tiredness isn't only a state of body. Maybe it's a signal reminding us to realign. The ancient Japanese secret to never feeling tired isn't about adding more energy. It's about leaking less of it. By living with balance and purpose, the energy you already have finally gets to stay.